So I was watching this keynote from the Adobe Summit, and obviously it's Adobe, they had amazing visuals. And there was this one slide that really jumped out, and it's amazing for a portfolio. Let's have a look. And here we can see the speaker on the stage with a lot of images on the slide. It's a very powerful visual. As soon as he clicks, we get 6.5 billion generations. So it's a really nice way to put emphasis on an amount or something special in your slide and backed up with a lot of visuals, in this case for Firefly generations. So what we'll do in this tutorial is first we'll make a breakdown of the slide, just a little bit of an analysis so anyone can do it in any software. And then we're going to recreate it in PowerPoint, and I have a really cool thing that as soon as you have it all set up, it's just literally 1 second of work to add all of the images. So it's pretty impressive. Let's jump in and do an analysis first. So I've added 2 screenshots to the slide to have a little bit of a look at what we want to create. We see a slide. This one is a little bit more than 16 by 9, but we're going to stick with the standard format for a presentation. And we see a lot of the images here. A lot of images in different rows and a center piece for the logo. That's going to be a layer on top. Now the images itself, they all have like this little divider line in between them. And also on the second slide, we can see it. They have rounded corners, divided lines. And then here on the second one, we have this text box, which has that typing effect on top of it. And then a little gradient around it. So that's where we're going to create 2 slides for that. Now for this tutorial, I don't want to start from the pages itself. I want to dive into the backend first, into Slide Master. So I'm going to View and then go to Slide Master. Here I want to select one of the templates and delete all of the content. So we have a perfect blank slide to work with. Now we go to Insert Placeholders and we're going to choose a picture. We're going to drag it on the screen, and here, once we drag, we can see that a shape is being created. And we release it, and now we have that picture shape. If we adjust it, we can see that the picture shape adjusts with it. So now it was a perfect rectangle. In the Adobe example, we had these rounded corners. So for that, we go to Edit Shape, Change, and make it a rounded rectangle. And now we see this little handle here appear. And as soon as we drag, we can see the roundness change and that picture shape as well. So I'm going to make it a bit smaller and then position it on the top. Now it can go a bit over the top. I think that also happened in the Firefly example. Now to make things clear, I'm going to right click, shape format, and I'm going to give this a bit of pattern fill. So a pattern fill like this. You can change the color if you want. I'll make it dark gray so we can easily distinguish it from the back end or from the back color of the page. Now this one you can Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V to create a copy, or you can Ctrl+D to create a duplicate. And then you can just spread them on the slide. Now what we noticed in the Firefly example is that they didn't all have the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of them a bit smaller and then the other ones a bit larger. So we have some variation in between the different pictures. I want to have them equally spaced, so that is important. Once we have this, I'm then going to create some duplicates and then just readjust. What I want to do is I want to make 2 or 3 rows that have different images, and then we can copy it. We don't want to do it with 1 row because then everything is neatly aligned. I think the benefit or the nice part of this visual is that it's very inconsistent and like a scatter of images all over the place. So that's what we want to create. So let's do 1 more row, especially in the middle, so we don't create these lines that run through the entire slide. So we want to have some, like a brick pattern that we want to have it. So some small ones and then some larger ones, just like this. And I think once we have those 3, we can select them all and just copy them and repeat until we have covered the entire slide from both edge to edge. And once we have done that, we can close the Slide Master. And then on our presentation, we're going to New Slide and add this template that we've created. Now this is quite messy with the text. So what we can do for that is go back to Slide Master, select all of the images, go to Home, and then reduce the font size so we don't see that picture placeholder anymore. If you don't like it, of course. It's not necessary, but you can do it. Close Slide Master, and this already looks a bit cleaner. Now what we want to do is we want to add our images. And for that, I'm going to go for the AI images. I'm going to select the images. We have all of the different placeholders in place. Now I'm just going to my Finder window and drag in all of the images at once, and you can see them just being filled in real time, which I think is pretty cool. Now, if you want to get those images, I got them from Midjourney, which is an image generator. You can use any image generator that you like, of course, or add your own images. Now, this in itself is already quite an impressive slide. If we now open this up, we can see it's already pretty close to that result from the Firefly. Now, of course, a few things that we can change. First of all, let's maybe do the background color. I know it's white in here, but I think it might look better if we make it a solid fill and make it dark to make the images stand out a bit more, especially if we put it on full screen. I think this pops out a bit more, and that's what we want to create. Or you can do a gradient fill and then with 2 dark stops. So let's do a dark stop here and a slightly lighter in the middle, and then make it circular, radial, and from the center. So we have the light spot in the center. I think that's quite a good view. So now we have the first part covered, the background. We see what we have on both images. On the first one we have the logo, and the second one we have that text box effect. Let's start with the logo first, and for that you can just drag in any image that you like. I'm just going to copy the logo that I find on their website from Adobe Firefly and add it here. You can give it some lift if you want by right-clicking, graphic format, and then go to shadow and use like a short drop shadow. This way it sort of lifts up the slide. And I think we can do the same on the images. So if we select all of the images, so Ctrl A, deselect the logo, oops, like this, and we right click, format object, and we just do the same. We also add a shadow, but let's do it only to maybe the bottom one as well. Transparency, you can play around with it. You can see it here at the border, how much it has to be. So don't make it too large, just do it very subtly, that if we put it on full screen, it sort of creates that lift effect of the images. And I think this looks just a bit more professional. So that is the first slide. Now we're going to duplicate the page. So right click duplicate or Ctrl or Command D. The logo we can remove. And now we're going to look for that box. I'm going to add a round rectangle on the screen and position it in the middle. If you want it perfectly in the middle, you can go to align and then align to center. I'm going to make it entirely rounded corners and then make it a bit smaller and wider because we're going to add some text to it. Now the fill here was dark fill, and then we have that gradient outline. So we're going to recreate that shape fill. We're going to set it to almost black, not entirely. And then the outline, we can only choose one color here. So we're going to right click, format shape, and then go to gradient fill. And here I'll put it on full screen. I'm going for the solid fill for the fill here, but I'm going to choose the line and then gradient fill. And there were multiple stops from the colors, so we're going to make sure that we have it set to linear, and then let's do 4 stops where we have one yellow one. It goes to red, but maybe we take a nicer red, a bit more vibrant. Then we're going to, what's the next one? So red, yellow, purple, blue. I think that will look nice. So we go to purple first. Let's do this one. And then we go to a nice bright blue. We can play around with the direction. So I think this one will come closest. And then maybe let's make it the line a bit thicker. So let's increase the width with a few strokes to like 4 points. And I think that already looks quite good. Maybe the solid fill itself, we make it just a bit darker. That is more the result that we want to generate here. Now we're going to add some text to it. So add a text box. And here I want to type in the word 6.5 billion plus. And then it says generations. Of course, this is black text, so I'm going to make it white. Correct the spelling, so it's 6.5. For the font, I think we can use Aptos and Extra Bold, but you can choose any other font that you like that fits your style. I'm just going to keep it consistent, so small caps. I think the font is quite close. It's a sans serif font, so it looks good on this one. Let's go for 52 and increase the box size by just a bit and center it in the middle. Now let's have a look at the 2 creations on full screen, see what we have created. So we have the first slide with the logo, and then we have the second slide with the text. Made a little typo here, so generations. And then I'm also going to increase this by just a bit to give it some breathing room. Now we're going to look at the animation part, because that's also an important one. And here I feel that there was a fade animation, fade out animation. So we can just, I think, set the transition to fade. That will do. And then we're going to animate this box. So I'm going to select the box only, animations. Let's maybe show a simple one first. So I'm going to group this and I'm going to do a float in. So for those who don't want to put in all that effort, you can just do it like this, where you have the animation, you do a little fade, and then you have a float in animation of 6.5 billion generations. I think this is a very clean result, but now we're going to look at that typewriter effect. So for that, I'm going to ungroup it, select the box. I'm going to put that on a float in as we had. And then I'm going to select the text and do a animation. Let's see here. We have appear. We go to animation pane. And now we can play around with the options that we have here. So let's see what we have. Text animations, we have word by word, or if you want to do it letter by letter, I think word by word will be quite good. And then you can just choose the settings here. I want this to happen after the click or after the first one. This one could also start after previous, so after the slide has been transitioned. And now let's put that on full screen. And this way we have this really cool slide, and as soon as we click, it will fade out, the new one will fly in, and we have the words appear. This is word by word, you can do it letter by letter as well to have that typo effect. So if we do that here, we can have it letter by letter, and as soon as we click now, we have the animation, and then we have the letters appearing. Now the unfortunate thing is on a MacBook, it is quite slow. There's no timer, but on the Windows you have it. So on a MacBook, I would say either use that fade animation or a wipe animation to get a cleaner effect on the typing, because this is a bit slow. But if you use, for example, a wipe, and you do it from the left, and you do that effect option from the left, that will be quite clean. So if we now play it, we have that animation and that text option. So I think that's pretty cool. If we now compare them side by side, we can see the first slide has been created with the logo. I think we come pretty close with our example here. And then the second one, we have that cool text effect. And also here, I think we make a very good case in PowerPoint. So I think it's a really nice animation that isn't all that hard to create, but gives a really cool impact to your slides. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you want to learn more about PowerPoint, make sure to watch the video on the screen right now.